The Emerald Tablet, Alchemy for Personal Transformation. Introduction. In recent years, fictional accounts about the rediscovery of ancient spiritual insights have become overnight bestsellers. These stories strike a chord in people weary of a commercialized world in which endless materialistic striving seems to be the highest aspiration. After thousands of years of pride, greed, and war dominating our history, many of us are fed up, eager to move toward a more spiritual culture on Earth. But what if there really were an ancient science of soul designed for achieving spiritual perfection in very specific and comprehensible steps whose only goal was to accelerate the evolution of mankind's spiritual nature? Not only does such a science exist, it is based on a single document whose origin is lost in legends that go back over 10,000 years. Called the Emerald Tablet, because it was molded out of a single piece of emerald or green crystal, it carries a powerful message full of hidden meaning and prophetic depth. According to some reports, the wondrous tablet was translated by Alexandrian scholars and actually put on display in Egypt around 330 BCE. One of the most mysterious documents ever put before the eyes of man, the Emerald Tablet has been described as everything from a succinct summary of Neoplatonic philosophy to an artifact from Atlantis or gift from extraterrestrials. The text is written in extremely generic terms and is the uncredited inspiration for many of the spiritual and religious traditions of Western civilization. Its most obvious legacy is at least 17 centuries of alchemy, a period in which some of the most creative minds in the world delved into the intertwined mysteries of matter, energy, soul, and spirit. My initiation into the lore of the tablet came while I was still a graduate student at the University of Vienna. In the 17th century, Vienna and Prague served as the European center for the study of alchemy, and thousands of alchemical manuscripts were written there. I spent untold hours paging through those arcane treatises, trying to figure out what the alchemists were talking about and searching for the meaning of the bizarre drawings that illustrated their ideas. I soon learned that the common source for all the practical and metaphysical work of the alchemists was an ancient and enigmatic document known as the Emerald Tablet. My research into the origins of the tablet took me throughout Europe and down a path that led all the way back to ancient Egypt. Along the way, I uncovered previously unknown versions of the Emerald Tablet and made some amazing discoveries, including an encrypted chemical formula within the tablet and direct evidence of its connection with the Grail legends. Gradually, I became convinced that our mystical and religious visions originate in a hidden reality that the Emerald Tablet not only describes but shows us how to access. As we enter a new cosmic cycle, that hidden reality is being witnessed by increasing numbers of honest and intelligent people in what we call paranormal encounters, but which are, in fact, glimpses of another side to reality that modern civilization has rejected and tried to ignore. The Emerald Tablet works on many levels and instructs us in a worldview that encompasses all the different facets of reality, not just our everyday world and the two cultures of science and religion that dominate our society, but also the ineffable forces that control our physiological, psychological, and spiritual development. I believe, as did the ancients, that the Emerald Tablet is a divinely inspired document that contains an important message, something wonderful for all of mankind. However, the multiple layers of meaning and interpretation built into the tablet make it anything but simple for the uninitiated to work with. The intuitive approach adopted here guides the reader through the tablet's many mysteries, until hopefully it comes alive, so he or she can directly experience the magic of its principles and apply them successfully. This book is a personal testimony to the power of alchemy, as well. Using examples from my own life and those of other people both famous and unknown, the hidden but constant alchemy of our lives is exposed. The material in this book is organized into 3 parts. The first section is dedicated to a true understanding of the ancient message contained in the Emerald Tablet. Using examples of persons who through the ages have unleashed the tablet's powers, each part of the document is scrutinized in turn to reveal its complete meaning. Then, the entire content of the tablet is envisioned in a single remarkable engraving from the early 17th century. In the second part, the recipe upon which all alchemy is based, the Emerald Formula, is revealed and elaborated with specific techniques on how to apply each step. The goal is for the reader to personally experience the renewed energy and amazing synchronicities unleashed by transmuting the lead of one's innermost being into gold. The final part of this book scrutinizes what the Emerald Tablet tells us about our future, and how we came to be where we are now. We will examine the alchemy of the millennium, as well as the meaning of increasing sightings of the stone, an emerging pattern being reported throughout the world. What is the Emerald Tablet, really? In simplest terms, it is a scientific document that actually works with something we perceive as metaphysical in nature and thus presents a spiritual technology for the human race. It shows mankind how to consciously work together with the forces of evolution and gives individuals the opportunity to transform themselves outside the inherently imperfect and artificial structures of schools, church, and government. The Emerald Tablet offers each one of us the chance not only to directly participate in the quantum leap in consciousness that can safely lead us into the third millennium but also to do so as real people true to ourselves and in accord with the soul of the universe.